The man pried open a lens with a knife, stacked two lenses together, then snapped off a pine branch to collect pollen. He chewed it into a paste and packed it into the lens. Finally, he poured water into the lens. After that, he found a piece of dry grass and used the lens to ignite it. Once the fire grew stronger, he suddenly picked up a cup of water and doused the flames. It turned out he was only doing this to pull out an iron spike, one that had been driven deep into a rock. The other end of the chain was locked around his leg. This was the punishment his commander gave him for trying to desert. He was left with only a little food and a few bullets, but the man had no intention of staying. He tried countless methods to break free, but nothing worked, until he realized that pouring cold water on overheated stone might give him a way out. With fighter jets constantly flying overhead, he worked faster and harder. Other than eating and resting, he did nothing but heat the rock over and over. When the grass and wood around him finally ran out, he emptied his last cup of water, pulled away the burning stick, and poured the water directly onto the spike. He grabbed the chain and tried to wrench the spike out, but no matter how hard he pulled, it wouldn't budge. Disappointed, he let go, his face full of frustration. The next day, however, he had a new idea. He pried open a bullet using a latch from a metal bucket, emptied the gunpowder into a tin, then poured it onto the iron spike. To make it more powerful, he even packed stones around the powder. Once everything was ready, he lit the fuse and quickly backed away, covering himself with his coat. Moments later, a loud explosion thundered overhead. He rushed forward to check, kicked the spike, and realized it had loosened. He picked up a rock and slammed it against the spike, over and over again. At last, exhausted, he dropped the stone, wrapped the chain with his clothes, and pulled with all his strength. The spike finally shifted, and he fell backward, free at last. Looking at the broken chain, he felt a rush of triumph, but freedom came at a cost. He was still deep in Soviet territory, and the chain around his leg slowed him down. Just when he didn't know what to do next, he met a woman who would change his fate.